Hey class, welcome to today's lesson. And today we are going over sales tax. So today you are expected to know what sales tax is. You're expected to understand how it's used and how it's calculated in everyday life and how to calculate it yourself. And you should be able to, by the end of this lesson, be able to know two methods to calculating sales tax and also explain how to calculate sales tax. And so I encourage you to pay attention and write down any notes that you may need. So first, we're going to go over some vocabulary. So when I go to the store and let's say I wanted to buy this monster, they would add up all of the items that I was planning to buy. Let's just say this case, it's one, which usually happens when I go to the store. It's just this. And that would be considered your subtotal. Now, your subtotal is before tax. Okay. And then they would calculate, what happens is they would calculate the sales tax. Okay. And what is sales tax? Sales tax is a tax imposed by the state on a small portion of the total amount you are planning to spend on every single transaction. Okay, so let's say I'm just like, for example, I'm buying this monster and my sales tax was 6%. What they do is they calculate what 6% is of this total. They calculate the 6%, and they actually, once they calculate it, they add it on to the total. They add it on to the subtotal to create the total amount that you need to pay. So you pay all of this, which is the actual total. Okay, so you have your subtotal, which is before tax. Then you have your sales tax. Then you have your total, which is after your sales tax. Okay. So now that we have our vocabulary down and you understand how, in general, how sales tax works, now we're going to go into the methods in calculating sales tax. Now, there are two different methods. First method is a little bit more mathematical and to help your understanding for future lessons. And the second method is a little bit more applicable to your everyday life. So I'm going to go over the first method first. It's called using a proportion. And a proportion looks like this. Now, it's a ratio of two things that's equal, and it's going to find the ratio of another two things, and they need to be equal. Okay, so 6% is really 6 out of every 100. So this is the part that I need, and this is the whole. So 6 is always out of 100. And then the part that I need is called the sales tax here out of the subtotal. So this setup is going to help me find the sales tax out of the small portion of the sales tax. That's why it's called proportion, because it's going to help us find the small portion of the sales tax out of the subtotal, just like I showed you in this demonstration up here. So the subtotal here is 294. Now, how we work this out is the easy way, and I'll show you another way later, is to cross multiply these two numbers and then divide by the third. So I'm going to show you that here. So we're going to take 294 multiplied times 6. And what this is doing is telling us in cents how many cents are we actually going to put in as sales tax. So 6, 12, 18, 24. This is 54, 55, 56. And this is 12, 17. And I use the 2 decimals here. Okay. And so this is how many cents that we're actually going to use, that we're actually going to be in sales tax. But I don't want it in these type. So I'm going to also divide by 100, divide by the third. That's how we work this method out. And what that does is it creates 0.1764. This is how many cents. 0.1764 cents is how many cents is actually in the sales tax. But when we're talking about cents, it's not point something, 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 something. It's always just 2. It goes to the hundredths place. And so I need to look at this number here to figure out if I need to round this up or round it down to the same number. And so since this is 5 and above, I'm going to take this 7 and I'm going to round it up. But if it was anything below 5, I would keep it at 7. And so up here, my amount of cents, or the amount of money that it's going to be sales tax, is 0.17, which is 0.18, because I rounded up, 18 cents. Okay. And so that's helping me calculate my sales tax. Another method is the method that I use every day. I can, so what we need to do is I need to take my percent and move it to a decimal. So I need to take it to a percent and then change it to a decimal. And how you do that is you have to understand that 6% is 6 out of every 100, or 6% is 6 out of 100, which is 6 hundredths. Okay. 6 hundredths, which is like this. Okay. And then you're going to take this decimal form of this percent and you're going to multiply it times the subtotal to get the amount of tax that would be imposed on the sale that you make or intend to make. 6, 12, 18, 24. This will be 54, 55, 56. That'd be 12, 17. So that would be, oh no, it goes over here. Sorry. Let me erase this. So we're getting the same answer here. Okay, it just worked out in a different way. So I have 1764 here. Or 7. And so after we, anyway, so I have 1764 here. But when I'm talking about dollars, I only need to go to the hundredths place. So I need to look to this 6, the one that's right next to it to the right. And if it's 5 and above, I round it up to 8. If it's less than 5, I'm just going, if it's less than 5, like a 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, I'm going to keep it at a 7. In this case, I need to round it up. So my sales tax here is equal to 18 cents. So those are two methods in order to solve for sales tax. Remember, sales tax is a small portion of your subtotal, and they're going to add that on to the subtotal in order to figure out your total amount to be paid. Let me know if you have any trouble with this. I'm going to be creating some practice for you, and I also have an example for you. Let me know if you have any trouble with this. I'd be so happy to help you, and I'll be here for you.